Science Process Skill, Form 3. Chapter 7. Aim: to construct and study the functions of simple step-up and step-down transformers. Problem statement: what are the functions of the step-up and step-down transformers? Hypothesis: in a step-up transformer, the secondary voltage, output, is higher than the primary voltage, input. In a step-down transformer, the primary voltage, input, is higher than the secondary voltage, output. Variables: manipulated, number of turns of the secondary coil. Responding: brightness of light bulb. Constant, number of turns of the primary coil. Materials: connecting wire, insulated copper wire and light bulbs. Apparatus: A. C. Power supply and laminated soft iron core. Procedure: wind 30 turns of wire around one arm of the laminated soft iron core to form a primary coil as shown in the diagram. Wind 15 turns of wire around the other arm of the laminated soft iron core to form secondary coil as shown in the diagram. Connect the primary coil to an A. C power supply. Then, connect light bulb X to the primary coil and light bulb Y to the secondary coil as shown in the diagram. Switch on the A. C power supply and tune the voltage to 2V. Observe and compare the brightness of the two bulbs. 6. Repeat steps 3 to 5 but using a primary coil with 30 turns and secondary coil with 60 turns. Observation: the number of turns at primary coil NP is 30 and the number of turns at secondary coil NS is 15. The brightness of the bulb X will be normal and bulb Y will be dimmer. The number of turns at primary coil NP is 30 and the number of turns at secondary coil NS is 60. The brightness of the bulb X will be normal and bulb Y will be brighter. Discussion: what is the relationship between Vp and Vs if Np bigger than Ns? Vp is higher than Vs if Np bigger than Ns. What is the relationship between Vp and Vs if Np smaller than Ns? Vp is lower than Vs if Np smaller than Ns. Why are the numbers of turns in the primary and secondary coils different in all transformers? To allow voltage of alternating current to be increased or reduced. Conclusion: hypothesis is accepted. Secondary voltage, output, is higher for a step-down transformer and lower for step-down transformer compared to the primary voltage, input. Aim: to study the relationship between force and spring extension. Hypothesis: as the force applied increases, the extension of the spring also. Variables: manipulated, force or weight of load. Responding: extension of spring, constant, type of spring, diameter of spring, length of spring. Apparatus: spring retort stand, meter rule, G-clamps, pin, plasticine, weight of 50 grams, 100 grams, 150 grams, 200 grams and 250 grams. Procedure: arrange the apparatus as shown in the diagram above. Record the initial length of spring. Hang the weight with a mass of 50 grams at the end of the spring. Measure the new length of the spring. Calculate the extension of the spring. Repeat steps 2 to 4 using different mass loads, which are 100 grams, 150 grams, 200 grams and 250 grams. Results: initial length of spring is 15 centimeters. The mass is 50 grams and the force is 0.5 N. The length of spring is 17 centimeters and the extension of spring is 2 centimeters. Initial length of spring is 15 centimeters. The mass is 100 grams and the force is 1 N. The length of spring is 19 centimeters and the extension of spring is 4 centimeters. Initial length of spring is 15 centimeters. The mass is 150 grams and the force is 1.5 N. The length of spring is 21 centimeters and the extension of spring is 6 centimeters. Initial length of spring is 15 centimeters. The mass is 200 grams and the force is 2 N. The length of spring is 23 centimeters and the extension of spring is 8 centimeters. Initial length of spring is 15 centimeters. The mass is 250 grams and the force is 2.5 N. The length of spring is 25 centimeters and the extension of spring is 10 centimeters. Discussion: based on the results obtained, draw a graph of extension of spring, cm, against force, Newton. Based on the results of the experiment, the spring extended 2 centimeters each time a 50 grams mass is added. This follows Hooke's law, which states that the extension of an elastic object like a spring is directly proportional to the force added to it. Conclusion: the hypothesis is accepted. As the force applied increases, the extension of the spring also increases. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel.